Most leaders I work with come to me with similar questions. How do I get my team to trust me? How do I give difficult feedback without damaging relationships? And how do I get better performance without pushing harder? At some point, they start thinking, I know it needs to change, but I'm not sure how to show up differently as a leader. Hello, everyone. My name is Andre, and I've been working with leaders just like you for the past 7 years. If your meetings feel empty, without energy, if no one really speaks up, and if your team is just not performing, then this video is for you. Here's something important. Most struggling leaders are not bad leaders. They're overloaded. They do not have support from upper management, stakeholders, only demands, but they care deeply. They take more than their fair share of responsibility. However, the power alone is not going to create trust, ownership, and performance. Think back on your own career. Think of a leader who truly believed in you, someone who created space for you to grow, someone who had your back. How did you show up in that team? Now think of the opposite. Not someone evil, just someone reactive, someone unclear with expectations or direction, someone who made it difficult and risky to speak honestly. What changed in your behavior? The biggest difference was not the personality, but the environment they created day after day. I often use this analogy. Great leaders are like farmers. You're never going to see a farmer yelling at a tomato because it's not growing. They'll be working on the soil and the environment and the nutrients. And this is the uncomfortable question most leaders will eventually ask. If I'm being honest with myself, am I really working on the soil or just expecting better tomatoes? But there is good news. Leadership is not something you're born with. It's a set of skills and behaviors that can be learned, practiced, and refined. But of course, it won't happen overnight. It takes work. And if you're the kind of person you're looking for a quick fix, let me save you time right now, this is not for you. But if you're serious about becoming a better farmer, a better leader for your teams, keep listening. There are 3 types of leadership skills that consistently separate the ones where their teams are struggling from the ones where their teams are performing. These are not tricks, these are categories of capabilities. Number 1, create a habit of improving yourself as a leader. Here, you'll find that listening and becoming a great listener builds trust. Improving self-awareness uncovers hidden biases. And your emotional intelligence shapes how safe people feel around you. Second, learn how to support your team as a leader. This is where your inner farmer shines. It's about creating clarity, not control, fostering collaboration, not competition, intentionally building psychological safety so people speak early and not late. In other words, creating an environment where all your people are flourishing. Third, learn how to navigate complex adaptive systems. These problems all organizations have, and they are linked to the exact behavior of people and people working in teams and teams operating in systems that vary day by day, and the solution you find today might not apply tomorrow. I know, simple, right? If your team is underperforming, morale is low, and nothing changes, there's only one wrong decision: doing nothing. From here, you have 2 valid choices: taking the longer solo path with less money invested but more time and more trial and error, or the supported path: less time, more focus, fewer repeated mistakes. Of course, neither is wrong. It depends on what you're short on right now. So let's explore both paths. For the solo path, there are tons of resources out there where you can get started on improving your leadership skills. I have published a summary of the 8 essential leadership skills and behaviors that are in the heart of leadership. You can get a free copy of the PDF in the description. If you are a video person, I have created a series of short leadership training videos on these essential skills: listening, facilitation, giving and receiving feedback, and building psychological safety. You can watch them right here or find the link in the description. Of course, there are tons of other leadership videos out there you can explore on your own. If you're a book person, I can recommend 2 leadership books. First is Turn the Ship Around by David Marquet. David is a former submarine captain, and he will show you how to get an environment where your people start thinking, acting like you, because you empower them to make the decisions that you would make. And if it's not the same decision, it's an even better decision. In other words, you create an environment where you push authority where the information is, not the other way around. You don't push information to authority. The second book I recommend is Dare to Lead by Brené Brown. She uses the word rumble when she and her team needs to sit down and talk real talk. She really champions vulnerability. From her book, leaders must either invest a reasonable amount of time attending to fears and feelings, or squander an unreasonable amount of time trying to manage ineffective and unproductive behavior. Really recommend these 2 books. There are other options on this path. You can take a paid online course, you can find a mentor, you can start a meditation or reflection practice. Trust me, this helps. All of these help. But most of the suggestions on this path struggle with one thing. They do not show you how to apply them to your specific context in real conversations under real pressure. And do your teams have all this time to wait until you finish the courses? Probably not. Even AI can support your thinking and planning. I use it myself. But when you're having a difficult conversation with your teammates on a one-on-one, giving a difficult feedback, or sensing tension in the room, it's all you. You cannot ask ChatGPT when you're sitting with your team member. So let's explore the second path. You can help right now, not after you finish a book. My Heart of Leadership program goes straight into the heart of what it means to be a leader. We use the Heart of Leadership framework as a background. It has 3 pillars, 3 categories that we discussed earlier. The leader as a human. These are all the skills and behaviors of leaders that we talked about. The leader of teams. What do your teams need you to be in order for them to succeed? And the leader in systems. Because no team, no leader exists in a vacuum. For every action, there's a reaction. In this program, I'm going to take complexity off your shoulders. Instead of guessing how to show up in difficult moments, instead of reacting and hoping it works, I'm going to show a clear way to think, decide, and act as a leader. And Heart of Leadership works because it's a coaching program, not a set course. We work with what's actually happening with you in your team right now. We use the framework to make sense of it and decide how to act next. Let me give you a few examples of previous clients. In working with Rize, he clarified his goals and vision, found a structured way for prioritizing tasks, and expanded his leadership style, which improved his decision-making quality, which led him to launch his startup earlier than planned. This is what he said. Andre transformed my chaotic mental garden into a serene Japanese Zen garden. I'm profoundly grateful for his guidance in revitalizing my entrepreneurial journey. In working with David, we addressed his leadership and business bottleneck issues. No formulas, no set courses. We tackled the bottlenecks he was experiencing right then. He wrote, working with Andre has been a game changer. If you're looking for clarity, I can't recommend starting a conversation with him enough. I had another David for a client, and he learned the real meaning of leadership and management. This is what he said. In the Heart of Leadership program, I learned what management is all about. I started without any clue. I learned that sometimes I need to focus on optimizing processes instead of people. That's the true embodiment of a farmer analogy right there. Not blaming his people, but working on the processes and creating the levers for his team to succeed. With Corinne, we defined where she wanted to be and created a clear path on how to get there. No tricks, just clarity and consistency. You can hear all about it directly from her on her video testimonial right here. These are some of the leaders that have gone through my Heart of Leadership coaching program. And as you probably noticed, the program is not for everyone. It was designed for leaders who care about their people, for leaders who are looking for clarity, not hacks, and for leaders who are willing to look at themselves first. It's not for leaders who want quick fixes, and definitely not for leaders who want others to take responsibility for their teams. So if this resonates, the next step is very simple. Schedule a free discovery call and we can discuss how working together could look like. I hope this video was valuable, whether you call it or not, but I hope to be seeing you on a discovery call very soon. Thank you, everyone.